Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the broadcast. My name is Justice Knight, and I have a question for you today. Are you prepared to be thrown into global chaos? That's the plan. Make no doubt about it. The only thing they want for each of us, the only thing they want for America. Articles are everywhere. China won't stand idly by if U.S. puts missiles in Asia-Pacific region, just the very tip of the iceberg. Russia media threatens U.S. with 100 megaton nuclear doomsday device after key arms treaty fails. We can continue. North Korea threatens U.S. Pompeo for breakdown in diplomacy. Iran threatens White House will be destroyed in under 10 minutes should a strike occur. Wake up, America. This is all about throwing us into global chaos like the rest of the world. Everything else is simply a distraction and a deception. Before we go any further, I'm going to ask you once again, if you've not subscribed to justiceanight.com, please do. There's my article from yesterday. Trump, no, the red flags are coming. The red flags are coming, something I hoped would never come, but it truly is because they don't want us to have guns. It's all part of the agenda. We can't be armed to defend ourselves, plain and simple. We must be like the remainder of the world. We must fall for anything with no resistance. Below that, again, is my donation portal. If you have the means to support me, it would mean the absolute world, because if we have to move to other platforms, which we're all going to have to in very short order, this is Mayway. Link will be below. It's one of the platforms you hear dinging in the background that gets a ton of activity for people just like you and me who want real news, not filtered news and not fake news. But now back to our broadcast. Again, all the rhetoric. China vows to strike back at U.S. tariffs threat. You see, they did a really nice job of separating off the farmers now because we're not going to buy any of your crops. What they're doing is dividing the conservative Republican Party, but that's not the only party they're dividing. Oh no, they're dividing the Democratic Party also. Shocker Barty being removed all of a sudden. AOC's henchmen, the Justice Democrats' henchmen. Those put in place simply to divide America, because if you divide it into small enough parts, it will never be as big as it once was, because they want us down to the levels U.S. intends to prevent Turkey invasion into Syria. We can continue forward. Exchange of fire on Gaza border kills Palestinian, wounds 3 Israeli soldiers. Conflicts everywhere. Around the world. They cannot and will not stop at anything to make sure we are simply just headlines like them. America thrown into chaos. America's parties divide. America embroiled in civil war. That's what they want. And that's what they're getting. Because everybody's falling for the deception. You see, this all started with this little survey. Agree, disagree, or oh my God, is he serious? President Trump, I'm directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, as well as social media companies, to develop tools that can detect mass shooters before they strike. And look at the percentages. The majority of people agree with this idea. Because that's what we've been droned into thinking. We've been droned into sheeple. We've been droned into not realizing the long-term impacts of these small, minuscule decisions. Went down. We had some great feedback come through. I disagree as it is stated. Maybe with more specifics, it would make sense if someone is in an online room posting that they're collecting guys in preparation for a mass shooting. That's one thing. To turn over names of everyone else who is pro-gun chat room is another. He's very accurate in his description, because if you read my response, when has our government ever shown an ability to not abuse power? Of course, in its purest sense, the thought of stopping mass shootings before they happen is phenomenal. But our government and its unjust nature has never shown an ability to gain more power and not abuse it. So why do we think now would be any different? Or is this simply a part of a much larger global script? Because they're trying to throw us all in disorder, now using the right-wing terrorism and the rise of white power movement against us all to divide a party. You know, when the Council of Foreign Relations has a preset, as you look up on the very top here, one of their major tabs, their first major tab is white nationalism. Their first tab on their primary website. Those of you not familiar with the Council of Foreign Relations understand this is one of the founding of the New World Order. This is the one of the globalist cabals that simply like to exchange all these ideas and control media and make sure the message is going through accurately as they want it to be, following their script and agenda at all times. We can go into the UN, another obviously globalist organization. Secretary General strongly condemns deadly terrorist attacks in the United States. Everybody was prepared to announce everything that had happened. Because finally we got America into the script that we need them. We need the dissension. We need to split conservatives. Conservatives cannot defend Trump and also defeat white nationalism. As long as the Republican Party and the conservative media are committed to defend him, their attempts to join their fellow Americans in eradicating the scourge of white supremacy cannot be realized. We need to divide the party to be successful. They come out and say it. It's in black and white. And people miss it. They jump over this as if it's not really happening. We all want somebody to rally around. We want peace. I want tranquility. I don't want this deception continually. Nobody does. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. It's painful. When things are divided as bad as they are, we all desire peace. But the reality is we must see the facts in front of us. We must see that even when Trump gives in, the Democratic Party still comes out against him. Still, it doesn't matter what he says. They will continue to divide and conquer. We can see article after article, the New York Times jumping in and actually changing their headline. Trump urges unity versus way too excited here. Not sure. Trump urges unity versus racism is how I would have framed the story. However, they changed that. Assailing hate, but not guns. They had to adjust everything because it wasn't quite deceptive enough. It wasn't quite powerful enough. It wasn't quite dividing enough. And that's the voice you have to listen to all this in, because that's who they are. Because they want us like the remainder of the world, rioting, looting, and violence. Here's what's happening in France and why it matters, that being obviously France. What the protests in Russia mean for President Putin as his society is dividing around elections. This is exactly what they want for us. You see, their script is being lived out in every country around the world. We just simply weren't playing ball. So the minute that all the impeachment talks fell apart and the Mueller trial fell apart, they threw on the afterburners. Absolutely trying to plunge us in. Here, preparing to die, Hong Kong protesters embrace hardcore tactics, challenge Beijing. This is the divide they want. They love this because in divide they gain power. What happens when all the countries are fragmented? Who takes over control? I bet they have an idea of exactly who will take over control. And for right now, I'm staying off the biblical perspective, even though we know exactly what's coming. Right now, I'm staying in the political arena. Kashmir's on edge as India tightens grip on disputed region. You see more divide, more conquer. China says People's Liberation Army will defend every part of its territory. Japan, South Korea tensions are eroding security in the Northeast Asia. It continues, and they want America here. Oh, they want it so badly. They want it so badly. That final target, that final demarcation line. Divide and conquer the once great and mighty Republic of America. It must fall for them to succeed and live up to their agenda. So don't forget what's happening around you. Keep your eyes open. Don't fall into the need for peace and tranquility. Our voices need to be heard. People need to understand that this isn't okay. Our rights are being stripped away. The great America is falling to the globalist agenda. They ride, and they're not going to stop until we're all gone, until America's gone. But don't worry. We'll continue to scream from the rooftops until our voices are heard. Not calling for violence, never the way it is. Awareness can build. It's like a tidal wave that grows in power, of understanding, of love, of compassion. But what they're bringing is unacceptable. And so we must band even stronger together. We must hold hands even tighter. We must support those that support everything that this country once stood for and should stand for again. So until next time, my name is Justice Knight. If you've not subscribed, I certainly hope you will. Each of you mean the world to me. Your comments mean the world to me. Your thumbs up, your support is also necessary, because trust me, if there's one thing they don't want you hearing, it's exactly what we just talked about. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.